I mentioned before that there are four main features, so I'm just going to point out where they live. So once you've onboarded, create an account, you found it in your dashboard, you're going to see a couple of different what we call widgets in the platform. I'm going to start on the right here, and this is your emissions breakdown. So actually, I'll get a bit more space if I do it this way, I reckon. Cool, everyone can probably see that a bit better. So these emissions summary and emissions breakdown are really the results of the GAF calculations. So you can see emissions intensity. So we know your number with our farm gross emissions and emissions intensity numbers. I've been tracking my carbon sequestration. So if you are an AgriProve customer and you've got a soil carbon project and you're tracking carbon that's sequestered, you'll see that number go up as the project life cycle continues. And I think Toby's going to talk a little bit today about measuring and how we measure and track that sequestration and the change and the impact on our emissions intensity. I can click through here and see what I might have across different parts of my production systems, split into scope 1 and scope 2, and then a full breakdown into my source of emissions. And you can always get a little more information from the AgriProve knowledge base about what each of these emission sources mean and how I can reduce them. So that's our emissions section. Here we have our nature and climate impact scores, and how these 4 scores work is they really take like an accounting view of risks and impacts that relate to a specific area. So for example, let's pick water. So you can learn a bit more about water and what this means. So this really is about like management of water resources. That one's maybe pretty straightforward. And this is also about runoff and pollution. So basically we start from a 5, we subtract any risks that are specific to your geography and your production systems, what you've got on farm, and then we add any impact activities that you tell us about. And that really gives us an accounting score. So, 5 and above means that you're doing some great work to mitigate any risks that we've been able to assess across the farm. Working in that zone between like 3.5 and 5 means you're on the way to reducing and mitigating those risks. Anything under 3.5 is probably a sign that there are some risks and you might want to look at other opportunities to start to build some impact and farm resilience in that area across your property. So yeah, can chat more about scores a little bit later. We'll do another webinar, I think, on that in particular. And then we've got our nice insights here on the left-hand side. So this is our intelligence. You can have a look at how you might compare with industry in terms of the emissions for your enterprise. So what do we got here, Toby? You've got some good stuff happening.
Beef, yeah.
Good stuff happening across your enterprise. You can look at different ways, again, to reduce those emissions intensity, and our team's always there to provide more information. And we can just have a look at this map. Everyone always likes to have a look at a nice map. We can see exactly where, Toby's not there at the moment, but see exactly where you're sitting, maybe, Toby. But what we can see here in our side panel is our soil carbon project estimate, which is always, really part of what we offer here at AgriProve. We can see that the total estimated yield of ACCUs can sit between 2 and 2.5 ACCUs per hectare per year across pasture, and 1.5 for cropping. And looking at this, we can start to work out what that total yield of this project might be. AgriProve covers a bunch of these costs of undertaking a soil carbon project. So we're always happy to let you know what are covered by AgriProve. And then the baseline sampling costs there, and there are financing opportunities available, which we provide a bit more information about as well. So what this does is makes it specific to your farm immediately, and then you can obviously contact our team to learn more and get started on that side.